In this video, you will study how to draw the curve helix. Now, first of all, how helix is defined, try to understand. If a particle moves on a cylindrical surface in such a way that its linear displacement parallel to the axis of cylindrical surface is directly proportional to its angular displacement, then the path traced by the particle is a helix. Let's assume that this is the particle which starts moving on the surface of the cylinder. Now this particle is right now at the bottom. It's now moving on the surface of the cylinder. Now it is on the backside of the cylinder, and that's why path traced by that point is hidden. And now it comes on the front side of the cylinder, and again it moves on the back side of the cylinder, and this curve is a helix. It is like a spring. You must have seen helical springs. So this black line, that is a path, is like a helical spring. In this case, particle starts at bottom, and in 2 complete revolutions it reaches at the top of the cylinder. Now here, check a white dot here. Here the particle completes its 1 revolution. Now during its angular motion, it moves vertically, and check its distance from the base continuously increases. And here it is the distance covered or displacement parallel to the axis of the cylinder after 1 complete revolution. Now watch here. Same curve I am going to show. But in this case, I am showing a particle moving in space on an imaginary cylindrical surface. That means there is no real cylinder. So check, here is the particle and it starts moving. And of course it is the same curve. But one important thing you should understand here. That is, there is no cylinder here, and therefore there is no any hidden portion of the curve. This is very important thing. When particle moves on a real cylinder, then some portion of the curve will be hidden. So while solving problems, you will have to take care of that. But if there is no real cylinder involved and you are asked to draw helix, then there will be no hidden details. Now watch clearly here. When particle starts, it is at bottom, but slowly its distance from the bottom starts increasing. And after 1 complete revolution, this is the distance covered parallel to the axis. This distance is called as a pitch. So pitch is the linear displacement parallel to the axis of the cylinder in 360 degrees of rotation. That is 1 complete revolution. That is known as pitch of the helix. So here try to understand. Particle starts here, and after 1 complete revolution, that is its next position is exactly above the initial position. The distance covered parallel to the axis of the cylinder is pitch. Remember, cycloid and involute, these 2 curves are plane curves, but helix is a 3-dimensional curve. Right now what you are watching on the screen, these are 3-dimensional views of the helix. But you are not drawing these 3-dimensional views, you are going to draw front view and top view of the helix. So try to understand how to draw the helix. Here it is, diameter of the helix. This diameter of the cylinder is diameter of the helix. So helix is defined with its diameter and pitch. Read this problem. If a particle moves on a cylindrical surface in such a way that its linear displacement parallel to the axis of the cylindrical surface is directly proportional to its angular displacement about the axis, then draw the path of the particle for 1 complete revolution. This statement suggests you that it is helix to be drawn. What are the details? That is, a pitch and diameter of the helix must be given. Let's proceed. In 1 revolution, the particle reaches the top of the cylinder. The cylinder has diameter 60 mm and height 70 mm. Take initial position of the particle at the bottom of the cylinder and at extreme left. Assume anti-clockwise rotation in top view. Okay, first of all, there is a cylinder. So we should draw that cylinder of diameter 60 and height 70. So we'll draw vertical cylinder. So in the top view it's circle, and in front view it appears a rectangle of height 70, and circle should have diameter 60 millimeter. So first establish center lines, and with radius 30 millimeters complete the base circle. Divide it in 8 parts. Of course, don't make construction lines dark. Now draw end projectors and complete the rectangle of height 70 between the end projectors. So this is how we have completed it. Why these lines are dark? So check here. This line is a top circular edge. This line is bottom circular edge. And these two lines are boundary generators. That is a boundary of cylindrical surface. And now those 8 points you have marked on the circle. From all those 8 points, there must be vertical lines in the front view, but those lines must be faint lines. Of course, you will not get 8 vertical lines. Along this line, generator from this point and generator from this point are overlapped. From these 2 points, there are generators, but coinciding with axis. Now here also, from this point, this vertical generator. From this point, this vertical generator. And from this point, it is an end generator only. So as usual, draw front view and top view of the cylinder. So try to understand the basic procedure of complete helix. Divide the circle in 8 parts and divide pitch in 8 parts. So what is pitch? 70 millimeters. It's given clearly here. Height of the cylinder is 60 millimeter and initial position is at the bottom. And in one revolution, it reaches the top of the cylinder. So it starts at bottom and in one revolution, it reaches top of the cylinder. That means 70 millimeter, that is height of the cylinder, is a pitch of the helix. Remember, you should divide pitch also in 8 parts. One more very important thing. If you divide this circle in 12 parts, you should divide pitch in 12 parts. Now we have divided circle in 8 parts, so we should divide pitch in 8 parts. So to divide this height 70 millimeters, 70 millimeter pitch in 8 parts, use our regular procedure. So draw a line, inclined line. On that line, mark 8 equidistant points, 8 parts. Then 8th part you join with top of the cylinder. So this is how that pitch, height of the cylinder, we have divided in 8 parts. And at those levels, draw horizontal lines. Now check initial position. What is initial position of the point? At the bottom of the cylinder, but on the left hand side. So here, this line is at bottom. This entire edge is at bottom. There are infinite points at the bottom, but extreme left means this corner. And where is that point? In the top view. So extreme left, that is, it is here. You must be knowing that this is front side, back side, this is right side and this is left side. And in front view, remember this is right, left, this is top and bottom. So bottom and left you can show clearly in the front view. Now one more thing you must know, whether it starts moving in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. So check, it's given in the problem, assume anti-clockwise rotation in top view. So this point moves in anti-clockwise direction. So why it is very important? Try to understand. There is a cylinder and this is front side. So first half of the revolution will be visible because it is on the front side, and next half of the revolution is hidden. So take care of that. So let's check how to mark the intermediate points. Now when particle starts moving in anti-clockwise direction, listen here. Next position, that is after 45 degrees of rotation, next position is on the next vertical line and next horizontal line, that is this point. Then just mechanically move to next vertical line, that is this line, and next horizontal line. So you are moving gradually upwards. So check here. After reaching at the boundary generator, again the particle moves on the surface that is inside the boundary. and here particle reaches at the top. So it starts here, it reaches here. So that is a pitch 70 millimeter, and these points are to be connected by a smooth curve. And now watch here, first half, that is boundary generator to boundary generator. This first half is visible, next half is hidden. So this is how we have completed the helix. Now insert all dimensions in the sense diameter of the helix or diameter of the cylinder and pitch of the helix, and how much it is, 70. It's very easy to draw helix. Divide the circle in the top view in 8 parts and divide pitch in 8 parts. We don't divide height of the cylinder in 8 parts. We divide pitch of the cylinder in 8 parts. Sometimes, like in this problem, height of the cylinder and pitch of the helix are same. Now, what are the variations in the problem? So, one is initial position. Second, direction of rotation. So, if initial position is other than this, then what it can be? Try to understand. Now, we are not solving this problem, it's general discussion. Here, initial position I have taken at the front. All other details are same. Only initial position is at the bottom and at the front side. So at the bottom, but on the front side, that is, this is front side, remember. So this is how front view suggests you that it is at the bottom, and top view suggests you that it is on the front side. Now in this position it starts, but whether it moves in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction, let's assume anti-clockwise rotation. So that means it moves first on the right side. So this is initial position in the front view. So it starts moving on the right side, but it moves simultaneously upwards also. So this is how you start marking the points. So this is how you have marked the points. Now how to join? Try to understand. It is on the front side. This semicircular portion is on the front side and this semicircular portion on the back side. First quarter, that is up to the boundary generator, it is visible. Then next half, that is hidden because it is on the back side, and last quarter is again visible. So take care of that. This is the front side and this is back side, and one revolution you visualize here. So first quarter is visible, then the particle moves on the back side, it is hidden, and then again it moves to front side. So this is how you join the curve. Check visible portion of the curve and hidden portion of the curve. What if this particle starts in clockwise direction? Simple, it starts moving on the left side. You start on the left side and continue. And join all these points by smooth curve, but again try to understand, first quarter is visible, then next half is hidden, and then particle moves again on the front side, so last quarter portion is visible. And this is how we have completed the helix. So simple. How to mark the points you must have understood. Take care of direction of rotation and take care of hidden details when the particles moves on a cylinder. There will be some hidden portion because cylindrical surface of the cylinder hides some portion of the helix. Now one more very important thing. What you are watching here in the front view, which is that curve? So listen, this curve is not helix, but it is a front view of the helix. And this circle is a top view of the helix. Next problem. Draw helix of pitch 70 mm and diameter 60. Now this is very important to understand. In earlier problem also, we drew helix of diameter 60 and pitch 70. Height of the cylinder in the last problem was 70. So actually we are going to draw the same curve. Then what is the difference? Yes, there is a difference, and the difference is here you are asked to draw helix and not helix on cylinder. That means here there is no cylinder involved. Of course, we are going to imagine a cylinder of diameter 60 and height 70. So this is how you should complete the drawing. So top view I have made that top view dark and front view. Draw projectors in the front view. Divide pitch in 8 parts. At those levels, draw horizontal lines. Check what is initial position of the moving particle. Nothing is mentioned. So we assume it on the left hand side and at the bottom. So this is initial position. In front view I have shown and in the top view I have shown. And direction of rotation is also not given. So we have assumed it anti-clockwise. If not given, assume it. Assuming in anti-clockwise direction, and accordingly you label the points and join the points. So curve is complete. Now what is the difference in the last problem and this problem? So yes, there are two important points here you should understand. I have not made this rectangle dark. The reason is there is no cylinder. So there is no question of top edge of the cylinder, bottom edge of the cylinder. And if there is no cylinder, that means there is no surface involved here to hide this curve. So there is no hidden portion. So this is very important to understand here. Now if there is no cylinder, then why in the top view this circle is dark? So remember, this circle is not top view of the cylinder, but it is top view of the helix. So helix in front view and helix in top view. Both these two diagrams suggest you the helix. If you show only this front view or the diagram, front view diagram is not helix. It is a front view of the helix. Take care. Now different positions or directions of rotation. Now here I have shown helix on the front side. Here I have shown initial position on the front side but at the bottom. And let's assume it starts moving in anti-clockwise direction. So that is on the right side, its next point will be, and in that way you start marking the points. There are no hidden details involved. So entire curve you make dark. And if this point starts moving in clockwise direction, so left side it will start, and there are no hidden details because there is no cylinder involved. Now one also very important thing. Initial position or direction of rotation not given. So anywhere you can assume the position. But we prefer extreme left or extreme right if not given. Read this problem. Draw 1.5 revolution of a cylindrical helix of pitch 60 mm on a cylinder of diameter 50. Cylinder of diameter 50. So what is height of the cylinder? Here it is not 60. Remember, particle here it moves 1.5 revolution. So in one revolution, particle moves 60 millimeters. Then in 1.5 revolution, it moves 90 millimeters. So we should choose 90 millimeter for height of the cylinder. Okay, so let's continue. Establish the center by drawing horizontal vertical center line, and with radius 25, because diameter is 50, with radius 25 you complete the top view of the cylinder. Now divide that circle in 8 parts. Height of the cylinder 90 millimeters. In one revolution it completes 60. So in 2 revolutions it completes 120. Now in this problem we are asked to draw 1.5 revolution. The height of the cylinder must be 90 millimeters. So here I have drawn cylinder of height 90. Now from these 8 points draw projectors. Now most important part, don't divide height of the cylinder in 8 parts. You should divide pitch of the cylinder in 8 parts. That's why I measured pitch of the cylinder here given 60 millimeters. And this distance we are going to divide it in 8 parts. To divide pitch in 8 parts. So we have divided height 60 millimeter, that is a pitch in 8 parts. Now take that distance between 2 adjacent horizontal lines and mark 4 divisions here in remaining portion of the cylinder. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 8 divisions in 60 millimeters. So of course 4 divisions in next 30 millimeters. And now check where is the initial position. Initial position is not given. We'll assume at the bottom and on extreme left. And direction of rotation we have assumed anti-clockwise. If not given, assume anti-clockwise. So it should move on the right side. Next horizontal and vertical line where they intersect, that is the point. And this is how you start marking the point. And join all these points. It is the 1.5 revolution. So first half it is moving on the front side of the cylinder from left side boundary to right side boundary, that is first half, it is visible. Next half is hidden because it is on the back side, and then it continues on the front side further, so front portion is visible. So this is how we have completed the helix. Thank you.